Hello everyone, Nassim here with Photography for Life. Today I want to talk about a very exciting product that we're now actually selling on our website, and that's the Sensor Gel Stick. Now, what is a Sensor Gel Stick and why would you want it? If you've been shooting with any interchangeable lens camera, whether it's a DSLR or any of those new mirrorless cameras, you've probably seen images with dark spots. And those dark spots are usually visible when you shoot at very small apertures. Say something like a sky at f/16, you'll quickly see that there's some dark spots in there, and those are really painful to remove in post-processing, especially if you have to do it on thousands of images. So what are those dark spots? Basically, the dark spots are either dust or some other debris that ended up on your camera sensor. And unfortunately, it's a very normal part of owning these interchangeable lens cameras. When you swap lenses, when you're moving around in dusty environments, when you're using zoom lenses that suck the outside air in and pass that into the camera chamber, there's basically so many different ways that dust could end up on the sensor. And when it does happen, how do you deal with it? Well, the first method, which is what a lot of people end up doing, is to send the camera to the manufacturer. So if you have a Nikon camera, you send it to Nikon Service Center, and they will, if it's within the warranty period, they'll probably do it for you for free, but you'll have to pay for the shipping, insurance, and at the same time, you will be without your camera until they're done. In my case, I remember when I did that first, it took like 2 weeks for Nikon to service that for me. So it was a very frustrating experience and something that I didn't want to do again. And I realized over time that it would cost me a lot of money to do that. Well, the second method, which is what I'm going to talk to you about and what this product is all about, is to do it yourself. Now, if you do it yourself, there are so many different ways to do it, right? I've tried over the period of 4 or 5 years that I've been doing this, I've tried so many different methods. Everything from using blowers to rocket blowers to brushes to different wet cleaning solutions from different companies. I've tried them all. And one thing that I realized was that every solution has its pros and cons. You know, some solutions work to a certain point, and then other, like the brush will work in some cases. If it's oil, it will make things worse. There's so many different concerns. Wet cleaning is probably the best method, but when you wet clean, there's other potential problems. You could leave residue on the sensor, which is hard to clean, then you have to do it several times. Or the worst of all, when you do the wet cleaning with, say, something like visible dust, you end up leaving stuff in the corners, which is extremely hard to remove. Then you have to buy a separate product just to clean up the corners. It's a really big pain. So either way, if you start doing this and you do more often, you obviously do it better. But I realized over time that none of these methods are really good for removing sensor dust. So I've been looking all the time for better ways to do it. So one day I was watching a video. I actually went to a website called Luminous Landscape, a great resource for landscape photography and many other things photography. So as I was browsing through it, I found this video about 3 years ago where the guys from Luminous Landscape went to German factory, Leica factory, and they were actually looking at the way that the M9, I believe, maybe an M8, some of those, one of those M series cameras was being manufactured. And what they did was, as they were walking through the service area, they showed this solution where a lady was cleaning the camera and she was using a gel stick just like this one, and she was basically cleaning the sensor. And when I saw that, I thought, wow, that's a remarkable thing, because then, you know, if the dust sticks on the sensor, then I don't have to remove it any other way. I don't have to use blowers, I don't have to use wet cleaning methods. So it was a great thing when I saw it, but I couldn't find it. So I looked for it over and over in different locations and online, and asked other people. Nobody knew where I could obtain the gel stick from. So this year, or earlier this year, when we went to PhotoPlus, when Tom Red and I went to PhotoPlus, we were actually walking the floor, and I saw this booth. It's a very small booth at the very end of the trade show, and there was a guy who was actually selling these. When I saw it, I thought, well, that looks familiar, and then when I started exploring, I realized it was exactly the same product that Leica used. And it ended up that the guy told me the company that manufactures these, apparently they sell these same sticks to Leica and other companies. So what is this product? How does it work? Basically, it's a small stick. As you can see, it's a stick with a gel head on it. And what you do is, instead of using a swiping motion as you do with brushes or whatever other method, all you do is basically you vertically press on the sensor, you remove it, and you repeat the motion throughout the sensor size. Once you're done, there's a special piece of sticky paper, then that you transfer whatever got stuck on this gel back onto the paper. So as simple as that, and it works beautifully. So as I said before, I think out of all the solutions, and I'm pretty sure out of all the solutions that I've tried, this is the best way. This is actually what made my Nikon D600 sensor clean right away. And I use it when traveling. I take it with me now everywhere. And when I saw this, I immediately said, this is something that we have to educate other people about. We have to show this product, and we need to start selling it. And so when I initially posted an article on our website and I said, would you buy a product like this? We had enormous response. We had a lot of people that said, absolutely. Because when they realize that it's a very simple solution and other methods, they all have problems, this is great. So anyway, stay tuned. I will actually do a video on how to use one of these, because there's different methods, different ways to use these products. I would say there's my method right now that I actually use is probably the best one. So stay tuned. We'll have another video on this. Thank you for watching. Bye.